Hey guys, so in this case study breakdown, I'll expose exactly how a small Romanian studio created and scaled a BibleChat AI, which is a ChatGPT wrapper app, for the Christian niche to over $300,000 per month in just 2 years. You'll learn the high converting onboarding flow that converts downloads into paying sticky subscribers, the viral TikTok and Instagram organic marketing strategy that they use for their explosive growth, as well as the hidden in plain sight strategy that they used and that nobody's really talking about or doing that basically 100x their growth. And of course, how you can copy all of this and implement it into your own business. Yeah, and a little bit about myself. I've run multiple businesses from 0 to 6 to 7 figures. I've also been able to travel the world and live a pretty fun life through online marketing. And I've also advised and helped out other businesses and business owners to do the same thing, and they've had pretty great success as well. But yeah, with that, let's get into the breakdown. And to start off, I want you guys to meet the founders. BibleChat AI and their company was founded by Victor and Marius. And Victor is a pretty OG entrepreneur as well as an investor, and Marius is a very skilled developer. And these guys came together to build BibleChat AI, which is basically just a ChatGPT wrapper for the Bible niche and for Christians. It lets you chat with the Bible, lets you read more of the Bible, lets you have a little streak, prayers, and things of that nature, and things that Christians would want to have in their app. It's a pretty simple and basic idea, but these guys have been able to do over $300,000 per month in less than 2 years, basically. And they're not the only ones. They already have competition building basically a similar type of product and also seeing massive success with Heaven Bible Chat getting to $100,000 per month, following basically the same strategies that these guys laid out for them. And they also have a couple other competitors which are slowly trying to take some of the market share, but so far nobody has been able to surpass BibleChat and their insane marketing strategy. And so that's what I want to break down in this video. And so to start off this breakdown, I actually want to begin by breaking down their whole user onboarding flow and how they are monetizing their app. Because as long as you know your numbers and you know how many users you will convert, how many users will download it, how many users will sticky, what's your lifetime value per customer, if you know all these numbers, it makes marketing 100 times easier because you know exactly how much you need to spend and how much you're going to get back for it. And so yeah, once a user goes through their marketing funnel and actually installs the app, they'll be hit by an onboarding funnel, a quiz funnel, to basically just have them invest time before they show them the paywall and get them to convert. And so it starts off with introduction and social proof, where they basically just write what they are, what they do, they give some reviews here, and they give a small demo of the app to give them a preview what's to come. Then they start off with quiz questions to get more understanding over their users, as well as make the users invest more time and feel like they're getting a personalized experience. After that, it's hit with an app explainer, because just showing a quiz after quiz after quiz is going to be boring. They have to splice it up with interesting elements. For example, here, the sliding effect is a little bit different than just the button here. Then after that, they're hit back with the quiz funnel, as well as small breaks. Here's their age question. Then they're hit with a break, which is a notification permission allowance. Back to the quiz, then with a little graph of what the progress is going to look like. After that, back to the quiz, another quiz, and then lastly, they're hit with a custom analysis plus quiz, right? And all of this is done to just basically build a rapport with the customer and feel like they're getting a unique and personalized experience as they're onboarding for the app. So yeah, after the whole onboarding flow, this is when they hit them with the actual paywall and to convert the users into a paying user. And they're using a soft paywall. And the difference between a soft paywall and a hard paywall is that with a soft paywall, the user can technically skip the paywall by clicking this X button right here, and they deliberately hide it to, obviously increase conversion rate. But a hard paywall, there would be no X button, and the only way to use the app is to force the user to enter their billing information. Now, first thing they are hit with is the 7-day preview, which is basically their onboarding preview of what's going to happen once they start using the app. They get a little starting journey. They get an understanding of wealth and scripture, but it's just basically showing them how the app's going to work and what they're going to get out of the first 7 days of using the app. After that, they are hit with a free trial or an annual plan. And they have a 7-day free trial for the weekly plan, and there's no trial on the yearly plan. They price the weekly plan at about $5 and the yearly plan at $30, so it makes it kind of like a tempting offer to get the yearly plan. But I still think that most people are going to go for the 7-day free trial, which they're using a conversion hack, which is basically discount toggle, which forces the user to kind of make an active choice to use the discount, which makes the user feel a bit more in control. And of course, they only have the free trial available on the weekly plan and nothing on the yearly plan in order to increase their lifetime value, because a user who signed up to the weekly plan is going to end up paying about $260 per year versus a person who's on the yearly plan by default will only pay about $30 a year, right? And so the lifetime value of the customer would rise tremendously if they're on the weekly plan. Besides the weekly plan, I checked through their other plans that they offer, and I was able to find they actually offer a lifetime plan for about $100, but I wasn't able to find it during the sign-up process. So it's most likely either a split test they're running or a promo from like when they first launched and what they were offering to like new sign-ups basically. But besides that, everything else is about the same. And there are about two main things that I would really improve in their conversion process. And of course, like with SEO improvements, you can split test and run, a bajillion different things. Is there never going to be a day where you can't run it, test something or split test something? But two main ones that I really recommend, and I was surprised they're not using, is number one, having a trial explainer, which is basically a little simple diagram which explains how the trial is going to work. It's going to be like today, you sign up and get the trial, and 2 days before the billing starts, you will get a reminder, and then on the last day, you will start getting billed. And this basically just builds rapport and honesty with the customer to make it clear of when they will get billed and how, and that you can cancel if you want. And this will really prevent getting disputes, chargebacks, and all these support tickets, all these annoying things basically. And also just builds rapport, and being honest with the customer just makes them trust you more. And the second thing I was very surprised they're not using is having a one-time offer. Now, a one-time offer is basically an offer that is shown only if the person starts to check out a process, and like they click the button to begin the checkout process, and then they exit out of it. Right? Otherwise, they will never see this pop up, and this pop up will show up only if they exit out of the checkout, meaning that for some reason they had second thoughts and they wanted to back out of it, and that's when you hit them with like the last final promotional offer of having an even bigger discount on what they're already getting. And that should convert anybody who's like sitting in the middle, like is not fully sure. Giving them one more extra discount will usually convert them into a paying user and help you close the sale basically. And yeah, this is basically how they're converting users from downloads to the onboarding flow and into their paywall, and closing them into actual real paying users. Now, after all that, and they either converted the user into a paying user, or they the user was able to figure out the X and was able to skip the paywall. This is when they're hit with the actual app mechanism. This is what the app looks like. But before that, they're immediately just basically hit with the app functionality and getting them started and using the app. And that just looks like, just starting on this page and just lets them enter their journal entry into their Bible journal or, whatever. And as well as being able to chat with the BibleChat feature, which is just a ChatGPT wrapper that has been trained on the Bible and Christianity. Once they go through this whole process, they're sent back to this page, and this is where they can see their streaks and their progress right here. And then after that, they're hit with the streaks and notifications prompt. And this is basically just a way to add more stickiness and make it a habit to reopen the app and get into it by having them, give them day streaks of every time they log in and make a journal entry, as well as setting up notifications on when they should be reminded to enter their journal entry. And this whole streaks thing has been very popularized by like Snapchat and Duolingo specifically. They made streaks super popular across all different apps. But there are a few dangers that have come out in a couple of recent studies. With that, it is a fact that streaks as a retention tool is 100% true. And studies from apps like Duolingo and Busuu basically significantly increase the retention rate, giving them an extra about 8 to 15% boost in just having users keep opening the app and using it. But there are still risks that come out in like new studies now, with the fact that if a streak is broken, it's very likely that the user just stops using the app completely cold turkey, basically, right? So if the person has like a 200-day streak, suddenly, they break it for whatever reason. They just, something happens, they break it, and they just see all their progress being gone. That just makes them want to just stop using the app completely because they got hurt with all their progress being erased. But there are ways to mitigate this, and this is something a lot of the new apps are starting to implement, which is basically having incremental streaks and mini rewards instead of like a one big giant streak cycle. Giving them medals and like rewards for a set number of days, which they save even if they break the streak later on. Now, if you're actually interested into just reading into more details about these studies, then the link to this whole document will be in the description, which you can read after watching this video. And yeah, that is basically their whole onboarding flow and conversion mechanism. After that, they just hit with the actual app functionality and they can just freely explore the app. And basically everything is accessible except this whole chat section, which is basically the whole core functionality of BibleChat. And this is where they can click on one of these chats, and once they're hit that, they can have a little preview of the chat and how it's going to go. And then after that, they hit with the premium prompt, which just goes back if the person didn't convert on the initial sign up. They'll be prompted here. And the difference here is that beyond the weekly and yearly plan, they also have access to the monthly plan, as well as a 7-day free trial for every single one of these plan types, compared to just having the weekly trial be available during the initial sign-up process, which is pretty clever. Now, let's talk about their organic marketing and marketing in general, because without the marketing, it doesn't matter how fancy their onboarding flow is, how fancy the app is, how great the app is, or anything else they did here. It doesn't matter if they're not able to drive attention and engagement and downloads to their actual app. Everything else doesn't matter then. And their main two driving forces, traffic channels for driving traffic, has been Instagram and TikTok. And so I prepared a little breakdown of their whole marketing strategy right here, which we'll get into now. And for both Instagram and TikTok, their strategy is basically identical, but I'll still go over both just so you get the idea. So to start off, they have multiple brand accounts, which is basically their official, BibleChat accounts, on which they usually either repost videos that some of their creators do, or they post like their own original memes and content to try and go viral. And as you can see, this is one of their channels right here. And as you can see, like most of their traffic, these guys are barely breaking 10K views on average per video, right? But they are posting with volume. And so once in a while, they hit some mega viral hits like you can see right here. And as you can see, they started their strategy in about September of 2024. This is when they went like really, really hard. And since then, it's died down quite a little bit just because, they have other accounts they're posting to. And it's also because they're using a new strategy, which I'll go after, do the whole organic breakdown. You'll see it after that. And so on their main pages, the most successful videos they seem to post are basically Christian memes. That's the top performing videos they keep getting. For example, this one is some kind of just basically a meme for Christians. This one's also only Christians will understand this. Here's another just basically Christian meme. And this is this type of stuff that seems to be getting the most engagement, the most likes, the most views. But of course, the downside with memes is that even though you get a lot of reach, very few of them actually convert into paying customers or into downloads, because you never talk about the app, right? It's not an app promotion. It's basically just a fun meme for the community. But this does still drive, engagement and followers and things like that. And hopefully, you'll be able to resell them later on. And the memes basically act like a top of funnel, very broad top of funnel, as a way to catch everybody else and to later on retarget them with more salesy types of videos. Now, besides their main branded accounts, they actually have a lot of actor profiles of having, actor name plus BibleChat. And on their actor profiles, they kind of just already found a winning formula or format for the videos that they just kind of have the girls or their actors just remake consistently every single day. And as you can see here, they have multiple accounts, and obviously not all of them are going to be winners. For example, out of all of these, besides I think this one, and specifically this one, all the other ones are getting basically, nothing in comparison view-wise, right? And of course, once you do find a winning format and a winning creator to go along with it, they repurpose the winning content on their own brand pages right here. And as you can see, it went viral once, it's going to go viral again. And as you can see here is also, they get way more consistent views. They don't get any crazy million view spikes the same way they did with the memes here on this page right here, right? But they do get consistent views, which is the differentiator. Now, besides the actor profiles, they also paid a couple influencers like this Bible teacher guy, but they seem to have stopped working with them simply because, again, he's good at making memes and driving, engagement and views, but I don't think his videos really converted that well into downloads, which is why they stopped working with him. Now, for the actual brand and actor pages and what content they're making, their viral formula is basically a shock face plus a caption and then into a app tutorial, right? So you would see that it's basically a girl opening up the app and saying a little caption right here. You're telling me I never knew you could put Bible verses on your lock screen. And then after that, it sends it over to this tutorial video, which is just them showing how to do the thing they mentioned about in the caption. Same thing here. POV, you finally find that app everyone has that puts a new Bible verse on your lock screen every morning. And then over here, that shows the actual functionality of the app that they mentioned in the caption. It's a pretty simple formula, but it seems to be working. They already printed a lot of videos with these. So the main key takeaway you want to take from this is that once you find like a winning formula, you just want to keep duplicating it, because you can't bank on it always going hyper viral, but you can bank on it consistently performing, right? As you can see right here. Besides this, a couple other tips, which I kind of weird that they are not doing, is that on the other pages, I really recommend adding some kind of like using the story highlight features of, adding testimonials, reviews, FAQs, and other previews of using the app, as well as also pinning some kind of a reel, which basically is a very technical tutorial of how to use the app and how to download it, etc., which will help convert anybody who's like on the fence and doesn't maybe want to go download the app without, understanding how it works first, which is my little CRO tip for you, if you want to take a look at that. But yeah, besides that, on TikTok side, it's basically the exact same copy-pasted framework, simply because, Instagram Reels and TikTok is basically the same platform. But there's a couple interesting differences I kind of noticed that I wanted to share with you. And the fact is, like on their brand accounts, again, they have multiple accounts. They also have multiple accounts in different languages. Here's a Polish one. This is a Dutch one. But yeah, the main difference here is that, number one, you can see that they're getting way more views on their TikToks than they are on their Instagram profile, right? 60 million views on basically the same meme content, but here they have over 100 million views, right? So when the video goes viral, it goes way more viral on TikTok than it does on Instagram. And also a key differentiator is that on Instagram, their meme content went the most viral, but on their TikTok, actually Christian advice is the framework that seems to go the most viral for them, right? So here they have a fake tweet, basically screenshotted of them saying, I replaced BibleChat and, this 10-minute routine helped me get rid of sin. And this got, almost 100 million views. Here is a way to like stop porn addiction, self-control, stress, and like have a 40-day challenge or something like that. And this got 40 million views. Another, this is like advice of women with a husband. They, start using the app and it changed them for the better. And that got 6 million views. Then if you're a student, this is kind of like a tutorial for students who are also Christians. This got 1 million views. Here's another one for like godly women, giving them advice on what they should do, on how to stop scrolling their phone and become more, more in tune with God or whatever. And that also went pretty viral. So that's a pretty interesting, differentiating factor, I think, between Instagram and TikTok, and how the platforms kind of differ. Even though they're similar, their algorithm on audiences are slightly different. And you're able to really see these differences on their actor profiles over the fact that you have the exact same videos made by the exact same actors, basically, but the view difference is very drastic. As you can see, like these are this Nesach girl, she's the most popular one with 22 million views, and this is the Karen one with 9 million. Right, but if we look at the same profiles on Instagram, she only has 2 million, and then Karen has not even 1 million views, right? And the same thing goes for the creators that actually perform bad, right? This is Abigail. In total, she has 12,000 views on TikTok, but on Instagram, she has 14,000 views. So what I noticed is that the content that performs good on Instagram will perform even better on TikTok, and the content that performs bad on Instagram will perform even worse on TikTok. And that's just because I think the TikTok algorithm is more optimized and just works a little bit differently than the Instagram algorithm that works. And the videos that go viral, obviously, is the same viral format of just shocked face plus caption and then into an app tutorial, the same way I just told you about, which is, again, POV, little caption, POV, you finally find an app that everybody, every Christian wants to use, and it goes in tutorial. So nothing super crazy, very similar strategies, but very different outcomes, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. And with that, let's go into the third traffic driver, which actually has become their main traffic source, I think. Because as you can see, they kind of fell off and just stopped posting a couple months ago. They really, they're not that heavy into posting, at least compared to like, other apps like Kalei or something who are just every single day they're posting. They found something else on a different channel, and that channel is actually paid marketing. And so if you remember at the start of the video, I did mention they're using some kind of secret strategy to, advertise. I mean, that secret strategy is just paid marketing, which is not really all that secret. But the reason I say that is simply because from what I've found personally, a lot of people talking about online, on Twitter specifically, is that the only way to really promote their app or SaaS or, anything in general is only through organic, simply because, there's a couple key figures and influencers who got really lucky with organic. And they attributed all their success to organic, and that now everybody else who's just starting out thinks that the only way to succeed is through organic, when that could be further from the truth. Everybody I know personally has only succeeded through paid advertising. And the same applies to these guys, in the way that testing and experimenting, testing different ad angles, creative ideas, things of that nature. Organic is amazing for that, absolutely. But to really scale and dial in your systems and create a system of repeatable success where you can just put $1 and get $2 out, then paid marketing is simply unbeatable in my opinion. Of course, there are big strategies, and there are a lot of big brands like Ridgewall, etc., who are banking hard with influencer marketing and organic posting as well. But for most people, I would say paid marketing is the easiest way to get started to a sustainable and consistent success. And so to really visualize this idea, I've created this very cool meme over here. So feel free to read through it if you want to have a little laugh. But the point still stands that BibleChat AI is running massive TikTok ads, Meta ads, and Google ads, with over 1,000 ads in TikTok, 780 ads in Meta, and 600 ads in Google Ads, right? Obviously, not all of these ads are active, but it just shows to show that they're testing heavy on different types of creatives, different placements, and just testing a lot through paid advertising. And the key lesson I really want you guys to learn through what I'll show you here in this demonstration is that they're treating each channel very differently. They're not running the exact same ads on each channel, because each channel is better and more optimized for a different task. And each platform is better at targeting different types of users at different stages in their buying process, basically. And so I want to start off with TikTok ads. And as you can see, some of their top performing ads are getting between 1 and 10 million views. But overall, their TikTok ad strategy is very similar to their organic strategy, because TikTok really rewards the same types of videos that go viral organically. They'll reward the same type of videos with better performance on their ad platform, simply because that type of content is already, verified to work and blend into the algorithm better. So the key lesson here is that if you have, organic content that's already performing well, just, on normal TikTok, bringing it over to just TikTok ads is just a super easy and simple way to just get more juice out of the creative before having to move on to, creating the next one, the next one, the next one. But obviously the downside of TikTok ads is simply the fact that it is very, fresh creative heavy, and that, if you're not pumping out new and fresh creatives the same way you are pumping them out with organic content, it's very difficult to keep up the momentum and success with TikTok ads, because the creative simply will die out very fast, because TikTok will just show them to all the available audiences that are, it wants it to show it to. And after that, it'll just, start burning money with no return on ad spend. So yeah, great platform. But like I said, you will have to be pumping out a lot of different creatives to keep up the momentum on TikTok ads. And before we go to the Facebook section, I did want to actually play you a couple of the ads just to get an idea of what the ads look like. So yeah, over here, I'll just play a demo here. I'll make sure it's not too loud. Yeah, like I said, it's basically a caption, reaction of the girl, and then followed by a tutorial. Same one right here. They do the same concept in different languages. I'm pretty sure this is Spanish or something. Again, girl with a simple reaction, caption, little tutorial, and then some kind of steps, and just they differentiate each one by some minor adjustments basically. But the actual fundamental video concept is the same. They also have this creator over here, which is some kind of time lapse of them changing the quotes through the day and through the hours. And again, just simply showing the functionality of the app. Now, besides the girls, they also have a couple cartoon characters and animations, which again, still sell the exact same concept of just having a cool hook with something interesting happening and a caption, followed by giving a tutorial on how to do the thing that they mentioned in the caption. And they also have a couple male influencers or actors doing the same thing basically over here. Again, reaction, caption, and tutorial, as well as they have a couple unique ones, which I haven't really seen them run anywhere else, which is some kind of motivational advice. Here's some success-wise, talking about God. This one is This one is basically just kind of animation with text over and voice over text. And again, I'll just let it play so you guys get the idea. I don't know if it's too loud or not. But yeah, again, pretty simple ads, nothing too complex. Yeah, and they also do the same thing in different languages. Here's an ad of them telling a little bit of a story, which I kind of like. But yeah, overall, majority of the ads are still like the reaction-based ones. They do seem to be testing a couple other variants. But overall, same strategy I talked about previously. Yeah, now moving over to the meta ads section is that they already ran over, almost 800 ads. And I'm pretty sure right now live, they have like 180 or something like that, active ads. And the key main thing I noticed with their meta ad strategy is that they're testing a lot more different types of unique angles, hooks, and concepts for each one of their ads. And I think this is because with Facebook ads, their audience targeting system or like AI, wherever the background is, or like how much data points they have about a customer on like their audiences, is a lot more detailed and far more advanced than any of the other ad platforms, which gives it the benefit of, you can run many different types of ad creatives, which speak to different types of people, and you'll see different types of performance on each one and see actual, get spend and success to all of these ads versus as with TikTok, only specific types of creatives seem to get majority of the spend, right? And so, yeah, they have a couple like AI generated stories, basically, some like a day in the lives. Again, also same with the reaction plus caption, some romance type of ads, some more memes, and some like voiceover advice, Bible talk type of ads, and a lot more. They're doing a lot of different tests. And yeah, we can go ahead, take a look at the actual Facebook ad so you get a more of like an idea of what these ads kind of look like. I'll make sure it's not too loud for you. Again, this was a reaction plus caption. Same. They have one key viral strategy that they keep replicating across all the. It doesn't matter if it's organic or paid media. They keep replicating it. But as you can see here, they also have a couple other types of ads where they use a viral clip plus caption, a couple image ads that they seem to have launched just recently because they didn't actually have any image ads when I was first doing the analysis, which is interesting. More reaction plus caption. Yeah, here's another ad. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see it better. Yeah, again, caption, tutorial, but a few different type of styles. Right here, they didn't use a girl or any type of face to do the reaction. They used kind of a movement of the Bible, basically, to show it, which is, again, different types of hook. We haven't seen that in organic, for example, at all. Another meme type of ad, for example, where it's just meme and then into, again, a tutorial. Everything's followed up by the tutorial to showcase the app functionality. You guys, I'm pretty sure you're already getting that idea. I've kind of hammered it down pretty well. Here's another one. POVs, kind of Snapchat type text. And there you go, different types of music. Haven't heard this type of music in their ads before. And again, a tutorial. This one's showing off some kind of their breathing meditation type of feature or something like that. Yeah, again, they're testing different types of hooks because you can just always exchange the hooks very easily. And then they follow it up by a tutorial of a different types of feature every time. Here we have some kind of animation type of story ad.
Can help you find the path to salvation.
Followed by some stock footage and then tutorial app of a human now. It's not a screen recording, it's an actual real person using the app, which again, something interesting, something new, we haven't seen that before. And so on and so forth, doing a lot of different tests. They also seem to have launched a couple new image ads because like I said, when I first started doing this analysis, they actually had 0 image ads. And that was a key thing I actually wanted to point out. And they're also doing localized ads where you can see the same concept, but if you can read the caption right here, it is in Polish. So they're doing different geolocation targeting. I'm pretty sure they just kind of went on Google and looked up what are the most religious countries in the world, and I'm pretty sure Poland's one of them, which is they're specifically targeting that demographic. And yeah, lastly, I also wanted to show you a couple of the ads that are already inactive. That means they ran them in the past, but they kind of stopped running them after a while for some reason. Most likely because they just, were not performing up to par. So let's take a look at what they were like. So yeah, some kind of just motivational text, followed by some functionality app and a caption. And then here we have some kind of before and after type of ad with just basically music in the background. Pretty basic stuff. Seems it did not perform that well. They only ran it for like a day basically. And so with that, you can see that, not all ads are going to be winners. That's why you got to keep testing, keep trying different concepts until you find the formula that works, and you want to duplicate that and, split test small things about that ad multiple times so you can crack the cheapest acquisition cost and just scale it as much as you can. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Hopefully you got some notes out of that. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. But yeah. And yeah, next up, I want to talk about their Google Ads strategy. And on Google Ads, they have over 600 ads in total. And they're running a mix between video ads and text ads, as you can see. And yeah, as I was saying, they're running both Google search ads and video ads. And they're running the video ads on Google Display Network and YouTube Shorts. An example of some of the video ads is, again, they're basically the same replicated ads from Facebook and TikTok and their organic campaigns. But they're getting pretty massive results here because, as you can see, this video was published on December 2024 and it got 700K views. Whilst this one was published this year in February and got almost 3 million views. And this one right here just published 12 days ago and has 50K views, right? So they're definitely, actively running this and scaling these ad campaigns. And they're running, these ones specifically are on YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Now, besides the video ads, they're also doing Google search ads. And Google search ads are basically ads which target people who just search a specific keywords in Google, and you'll basically just show up as a sponsored listing at the top of the search results. And as you can see, they're targeting like different types of questions of Catholic versus Christian, same question in different languages. What are the 10 commandments? What are the 7 deadly sins? And so they're just encouraging people to, people who are interested about the Bible and have questions about it. They want to, hijack those questions and lead them to download the app and answer these types of questions inside the app instead of, going to some kind of article or blog page where somebody else answered this. They want to capture that audience and just bring them over to the app. And besides the Google search ads, they're also doing brand search ads, which are basically brand search is when you target your own brand's keyword, which is BibleChat AI. They're running ads which just simply make it easier to download the app for people looking it up. Because if you look up BibleChat, they're actually having a massive, massive spike of just, all their marketing hitting together and people talking about it and spreading word of mouth, etc. And a lot of people are just looking them up, not even knowing, how to download it, what is the app, how does it work. And so those people, they're capturing that type of market. And you kind of have to do this once your, app or SaaS or brand just gets popular enough. Because otherwise other competitors will try to bid for your own keyword and try to just steal your audience. And so they're doing this simply just to protect their brand image and, make sure all their marketing is not wasted and somebody else is just, stealing their success basically. And yeah, those are basically their 3 main pillars of paid media, which, these guys are scaling it massively, 100 times more than whatever they're doing in organic. They're doing 10 times better with paid ads. And so I really do hope you take this to heart and, use it as inspiration for your own business. But yeah, very, very interesting. I really hope you got some insight out of this. But yeah, next up, I want to talk about what's the future of BibleChat? How are they going to scale to 500K per month? How are they going to keep scaling further? And what are their business plan? What can they do better? They're already doing so much correctly. What can they possibly do better? And so, like I said, BibleChat did basically everything correctly. I have almost 0 complaints. Their growth has been very impressive. Just the fact that they started building specifically in the Christian niche is really clever, because Christianity right here was at about an all-time low. And since then, it's been slowly and steadily rising basically every single year. And they definitely weren't slacking off, and they executed every single one of their marketing strategies basically, as good as you could possibly do it. I did still collect about 3 main ideas that I think they really should, test more and expand on. And number 1 is simply sponsoring Christian YouTubers, right? I think the ROI on YouTube sponsorships and long form content in general will always be much higher than whatever they got sponsoring that Bible teacher guy who made Instagram memes about Christianity. Getting a segment in somebody's Christian routine or healthy Christian habits type of video will be far more effective than getting a 30-second meme about doing a prayer before you eat a meal as a meme or something, So I think it's worth exploring this strategy, but I still think that just their audience is too small and the reach you'll get, like, this is the most popular video at like 1.1 million views, but on average, she averages like maybe 100K views. And I feel like you just get way higher reach with pay ads, but it's still worth sponsoring these type of YouTubers simply to just be more omnipresent and be more trustworthy in the eyes of, you know, your own customers and, you know, your future customers. And next up, I did want to talk about their expanding their creative strategy. And just like two main things that I kind of noticed is that they're lacking like two main crucial ad creative types that I think would really help expand their paid media strategy. And the first one is making more in-depth creatives. Right now, in basically all of their ads, they're only ever showing like one core feature from the app, which again, that's great. And that's like the rule of thumb, I think, in all advertising, never overcomplicate it. Sell one feature with one ad. It's way more effective than trying to like cram every single thing your app does in a single ad. But once you already get to a scale as big as BibleChat is, I think it's smart to start building a more like slower pace, in-depth ad creatives, which explain the app step by step and explain everything it can do. Because they're now currently at the stage where they for sure already have a lot of people who have seen their initial ads and have still not yet converted, or have seen their ads, installed the app, went through the onboarding process, but maybe just gave up halfway through, or just because they didn't understand something, they got confused, or, you know, whatever else happened in between that and their checkout process. Something happened and they did not convert, right? They 100% already have a massive audience of those types of people who are still on these social media platforms, know about BibleChat AI, but just simply need that final push to convert them over to paying customers. And you can do that by simply, you know, like having this type of more in-depth ad, which shows to these people like exactly what it does and what the benefit they get by using this type of ad. And these types of, you know, in-depth creatives are specifically used as retargeting ads. And so that means it's very unlikely it's going to get like a massive amount of spend, but it will still act as a bottom of funnel, you know, ad that just converts people who are still like on the edge. And the next type of creative I think they're very lacking is story-driven creatives. And this also acts as a great retargeting ad to convert that last tier of customer just has not pulled the trigger yet, but also it really helps with specifically targeting like older audiences, which again, older audience are the ones who are the most religious, are the ones who have the most money. And, you know, these type of short form ads, as they have been running thus far, in my opinion, are more targeted and more suited to like younger demographics and maybe millennial, you know. But to get those older people on board, having a slower paced story driven ad of, you know, just human testimonials and stories about how BibleChat changed their lives, I think that type of ad will convert very, very well for that audience. And yeah, for example, some kind of story of a girl sharing that, you know, she went to college and it became very difficult to keep up with her Bible studies because something, but then, you know, she discovers BibleChat and that finally managed to get her back into it. It solved all her problems and she became super religious again. It was great and her life was perfect. She got married and yada, 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 you know. And, you know, if you make that like a, you know, a pretty longer, you know, 3-5 minute ad, you know, telling the full story, I think that will work amazingly as a bottom of funnel that will convert older audience and people who are still like on the fence or aren't sure about the app. And another example, I just came up with these on the fly. For example, a grandma sharing how she got this app for her grandkids who just are always on their iPads and hated going to church. But now, thanks to BibleChat, they're actually excited about learning about Jesus, and they're excited to talk to her about, you know, Jesus and the Bible, etc. And again, you make that a pretty longer ad with a couple of minutes, where you just kind of, you know, show some stock footage of some grandkids, etc., and make it more of an emotional VSL ad. But yeah, and the last one is simply just testing more image ads. You would be surprised, like the benefit of image ads is that they're a lot cheap. I mean, not a lot, but like they're slightly cheaper than normal ads simply because images have way more placement availability than video ads do. And so if you have more placements, you know, you'll get a cheaper rate per ad placement. That, and it's also a lot easier just to create them. In the same time it takes you to create a video ad, you can create, you know, 10 image ads basically. And with that, you can test more concepts. You can push out more volume of ads, which again just gives you more results, gives you more data to work with, gives you more, you know, data points of what type of things convert or not. And this will help you just do more smarter decisions on your marketing strategy. And it will also give you inspiration of, you know, if you test out 10 different image ads and a specific image ad stands out and converts, maybe you can translate that image ad into a video ad, which now, you know, saved you a lot of time testing different types of video ads. which you didn't have to make or test them because you tested it through the image ads. And beyond that, image ads also work as a great retargeting ad of just, showing the product without that much, being salesy or annoying. And simply reminding people who also reminding people who already have the app installed to, hey, remember to open a BibleChat, remember to put in your journal entry, and so on and so forth, right? A lot of benefits in image ads, which again, I wrote it down before I saw their new update, because it looks like they're already implementing this strategy live as I was recording this video. But yeah, that's basically it. I really hope you got some value out of this. I hope you learned, about their organic strategy and how you can implement that, as well as their paid media strategy. And I think that's something not a lot of people have covered in the SaaS space at all. So hopefully this gave you some inspiration. Now, beyond that, if you have a SaaS company or you're working on making a SaaS company or, some kind of viral app or something, and you'd like to implement these types of growth and marketing strategies into your own business, then, book a call with me. I would love to talk to you. I would love to see if I can help you out. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.